thrown into America's most dangerous prison, a bald man with a giant cross tattooed on his head, silent, alone, and easy to target. The gangs mocked him, beat him, stomped on his head with their boots just to see if he'd fight back. They thought he was just another weak inmate, but none of them knew. This was the most dangerous man behind bars, because this quiet man was a professional heavyweight boxer with nothing left to lose. Bradley used to be a pro boxer in the heavyweight division. His beliefs are extremely far right, and he sees himself as a proud patriot. These days, he makes a living working at an auto repair shop. One morning, he brings in a client's broken down car. But just as he pulls in, his boss stops him outside.
Come in my office.
You can tell it out here. I don't work in an office. I don't need to squeeze into one to hear some bad news.
It's a tough time for businesses right now.
Not really interested in the economy. Am I getting laid off?
I'm sorry.
Bradley says nothing, just grabs his stuff from the locker room and leaves. He drives home in silence, visibly upset. As he arrives, he sees his wife sitting in the car crying and on a call. Already sensing something's wrong, he walks up to her. She's shocked to see him back so early. Bradley notices a hickey on her neck. His face tightens. Without saying a word, he grabs her purse to check her phone. Terrified, Lauren, that's her name.
I've been seeing somebody.
Bradley forces her into the house. But instead of lashing out at her, he unloads his rage on her car. With his bare hands, he starts tearing it apart. That strength from the auto shop? Yeah, it's showing now. Inside the house, they sit down and have a tense, honest talk. We learn two key things. First, they went through a miscarriage a few years ago. It broke them emotionally, and ever since, they stopped opening up to each other. Bradley suggests they try to fix things and maybe even start a family again. But Lauren doesn't know how they'll survive.
I only get called in to substitute once or twice a week. You just lost your job.
Bradley says he'll reach out to his old contact, Gil. Lauren breaks down again. She knows what that means. She begs him not to go back to the drug world, but Bradley insists it's just for a while. He won't deal, just handle deliveries. Just give me a little time, he says. A year and a half later, Bradley is now delivering drugs to sketchy housing projects. He's made serious connections thanks to how reliable and clean-cut he is. A dealer jokes with him.
Howdy.
You can give me a sample this time.
Talk to your boss.
Oh, let me earn it direct. Promise I can put a great big smile on each of those nuts.
No thanks. I don't want anyone to see their braces.
Bradley collects the payment and gets into a sleek new car. He drives to a hidden spot, parks in a dirt field, takes off the plates, and covers the car with camo netting. He calls Gil and tells him the delivery went smooth. Outside his house, 2 more cars are parked. His home now looks like something out of a luxury magazine. Clearly, things are going well. Inside the kitchen, he sees Lauren cooking. Bradley gets uneasy when he sees her holding a knife.
I don't want you handling a knife right now. Please, put that down.
Can you put that down, please? He asks. Lauren smirks. You're sounding more like a paranoid dad than a husband. He lifts her up playfully and carries her toward the bedroom, but their moment gets cut short by a phone call. It's Gil, telling Bradley to come over right away. When they meet, Gil says a new deal is happening. A Mexican cartel guy is about to become their main supplier. Just a minute later, the cartel guy shows up with 2 men beside him.
This is Bradley. It's my top runner.
The Mexican introduces himself as Eleazar, and the 2 with him are Roman and Pedro. He tells Bradley they'll be tagging along on the next run. Bradley isn't thrilled. He takes one look at Roman and shakes his head.
I'm not doing a pickup with him.
And for what reason?
He looks like he's using.
Vermont's been clean for 2 years. I test my employees.
Gil tries to calm things down, saying Bradley's the only one who can handle these kinds of people. He reminds him that even Bradley had drinking problems in the past. Don't act like you never had your own messes.
The bottle ain't the same thing as junk.
Don't kid yourself with that bullshit. You look at my brother and your old man.
He adds. To sweeten the deal, Gil offers Bradley 3 months off when his baby is born. Bradley agrees, but only under one condition. He's the one in charge. He tells Eleazar to make sure his guys follow orders.
Roman, look at me. If I say dump the package, what do you do?
Duh.
Roman replies. They shake hands, sealing the deal. That same night, the group sets off. While they're walking, Bradley notices Roman carrying a gun. He tells him to put his hands behind his back. Roman smirks and refuses.
Man, you.
Go against me and you 2 can swim out on your own and do the pickup.
Bradley steps in, pats Roman down, finds the weapon, and tosses it into the water. No accidents tonight, he says. They board Gil's boat and head toward a buoy in the water. Pedro dives down and brings up a waterproof bag filled with drugs. As Bradley returns to shore, something feels off. Trusting his gut, he drops the bag back into the water.
Dump, we'll pick him up later. Go.
They throw a few punches at Bradley and storm off to their car. Right as they get in, cops swarm the place ambush. A shootout breaks out. Bradley wants to run but can't bring himself to abandon the situation. His sense of duty kicks in. He helps the police, shooting at Pedro. Roman fires back at Bradley, spraying bullets, but Bradley dives into the water and gets away. Pedro, on the other hand, gets shot in the head by a cop.
Good night.
Bradley circles back and sneaks up on Roman from behind. He shoots him in the shoulder and finishes him off with a few heavy punches. After everything settles, Bradley turns himself into the police. During questioning, the detective tells him he's impressed. Body cam footage showed everything, and thanks to Bradley, no cops died. Still, the law is the law. Helping the police doesn't erase what he did, but the detective hints that cooperating might help reduce his sentence. He brings up Bradley's patriotism and the fact that his daughter is about to be born, but Bradley doesn't snitch. He refuses to name his boss. "I'll probably do 4 or 5 years," he says, "and I'll take the time. I did the job."
Who supplies your crystal?
Some guy.
Some guy got a name?
I forgot.
Would you remember if I showed you a list of names?
Don't like to read. Won't even see a movie if it's got subtitles.
Later, Lauren visits him. Bradley asks her not to come to the court, hearing he doesn't want her upset for no reason. He also tells her not to bring their daughter to see him in prison. He doesn't want the first time they meet to be behind bars. When he gets out, he'll explain everything.
I'll wait for you, no matter how long it is. Never make that mistake again. I promise you.
The judge sentences Bradley to 7 years in prison. He's stunned. This is what he gets for helping the cops. With a blank look, he's taken to his new prison, Franklin James. Inmates call it the fridge. He stands in line forever at intake. When it's his turn, he hands over his stuff. The guard tells him to take off his wedding ring. Bradley hesitates, but finally slips it off. He accidentally closes the tray window a little too hard. The guard flinches and immediately acts tough. Like a wannabe with authority, he tells Bradley to go back to the end of the line and start over.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Reclaim your possessions and take your place at the end of the line.
After the search, they give him a robe and send him to his assigned block. There, he's greeted by a senior inmate who's supposed to help him adjust. As they walk to his cell, the guy explains the basic rules. A guard overhears and tries to recruit Bradley to join the boxing club.
There's a boxing program here, a good one. I'm one of the coaches.
Not interested.
They reach his cell. The old man tells him what time dinner is. Bradley says he'll skip it.
Lots of guys skip dinner when they first get here. 2 or 3 in the morning, you'll want it.
Left alone, Bradley sits in silence. He releases some of the anger that's been building up in his own way. During night roll call, a guard gives Bradley a hard time for showing up late.
Like the bell at the beginning of a boxing match. Ding, ding.
Bradley stays calm and doesn't engage. That same night, something terrible happens. A group of men break into Bradley's house. Lauren wakes up, runs to the bedroom door, and throws up from panic. She grabs a gun, but before she can use it, they knock her out with tranquilizers. The next morning, a supervisor calls Bradley. She says Lauren's obstetrician called with some urgent pregnancy issues. He wants to speak with Bradley in person.
Pelman's your wife's obstetrician? He said there were some complications in the pregnancy and wanted to discuss the matter with you in person.
Bradley gets nervous while waiting for the meeting. The guard escorting him uses the walk to push the boxing club one more time. "You sure you don't want to join?" Bradley walks into the room, but it's not the doctor.
Who are you? Where's Dr. Pellman?
Sit down.
A stranger is sitting there. He tells Bradley that his betrayal cost Eleazar $3 million, and now they want repayment. He shows Bradley a photo of Lauren tied up. Then he explains something even more horrifying. They've brought in a doctor from Korea.
There is an abortionist from Korea. He works for my employer. He claims that he can clip the limbs of a fetus, yet leave the child in such a condition that it will live to be born.
Then comes the demand. Kill Christopher Bridge. He's in Red Leaf Max Security Cell Block 99. Bradley tells him that with his current charges, there's no way he gets sent to a max security prison. The man leans forward and says, "Then get creative, or you'll be receiving your baby's limbs in the mail." On the way back to his cell, Bradley knows what he has to do. He doesn't hesitate. He suddenly attacks the same guard who kept inviting him to the boxing club.
Look, I'm sorry for busting you earlier. I was just hoping to get you in the prison boxing.
A full-on fight breaks out. The guard might be trained, but Bradley is brutal and more experienced. He completely overpowers him and ends it by snapping the guard's arm. Backup arrives fast and Bradley surrenders without a fight. He listens carefully as they talk, turns out. This assault alone won't get him into max security. They're only going to move him to a stricter block. So Bradley pushes things further. During the transfer, he picks a fight with the transport team. In the chaos, one guard accidentally knocks out his own teammate. After a taser is fired and things get even messier, they finally send Bradley where he wanted to go all along, to Redleaf Max Security Prison. As soon as he arrives at Redleaf, armed guards are waiting for him. They're led by the warden himself. The warden lays out the rules, strict, no exceptions. He orders Bradley's belongings dumped onto the ground, including his wedding ring.
The men here aren't like those f***its over there at the prison.
Then he offers Bradley a challenge.
Prisoners are expensive, and we're only too happy to help the state balance its budget by deploying some cheap lead.
Outside, Bradley gets a full body search. After that, the guard tells them to put him in the nastiest cell they've got. Inside, Bradley almost gags. The toilet is clogged, and the stench is unbearable. The warden tells him that if he behaves, he'll be moved in 2 weeks. Bradley uses his t-shirt to cover his face and lies down. He tries to sleep, but it doesn't last. Minutes later, a guard wakes him up. It's time for yard walk. In the yard, another inmate explains how cell block 99 works. It's completely isolated from the rest of the prison, a dumping ground for the worst of the worst. He's ready to escalate.
Brad, what's wrong with you?
Miss Bradley, I'm psychotic.
Then he heads straight toward the Mexican inmates and stirs things up. "We're using this one now, gringo," one of them says. "Don't call me that," Bradley snaps back. "Last I checked, the flag didn't have red, white, and burrito on it." The biggest guy lunges first, but Bradley destroys him. He beats the others down one by one. Even their sticks don't help. They're no match for him. One of them tries to jump in from behind, but gets knocked out with a single hit to the back of the head. Suddenly, a rifle fires from the watchtower warning shot. Guards rush in. But Bradley isn't done. He takes on the guards too. Eventually, they draw a gun on him. Cold steel pressed to his face. Finally, gets him to stop. A bag is thrown over his head. They lead him to a stairwell and drag him down into the basement. It's dark. They strap a thick powerlifter's belt around his waist. It's rigged with a stun device. The warden flips a switch and shocks him. Bradley falls to his knees. "You just earned 25 points, the warden says. Every point is one zap.
When you are eating, when you are sleeping, when you are pissing, and when you are shitting.
They throw Bradley into a new cell. The floor is covered with broken glass. They shock him again. He collapses onto the shards. Bradley calls out through the door's tiny window.
"Christopher Bridge? Christopher Bridge!"
A voice answers from the next cell. There's no one here by that name. Before Bradley can say anything else, they shock him again. The guards drag him into the hallway and start abusing him with the stun belt.
"Do not blink until I give you permission to blink."
Then they say someone wants to see him. They lead him to the end of the hallway. Inside a clean, private room, Eleazar and his goons are waiting. He tells Bradley that the feds finally caught up with him. He blames Bradley for everything, the money he lost and the death of his sister's husband, Pedro.
My sister is now a widow.
He growls. A guard hands Eleazar the remote for the taser. "Try not to kill him today," the guard jokes. Eleazar and his men beat Bradley and shock him over and over. He holds up a photo of Lauren and says, "If you touch any of us, the doctor will go to work." They shock him one last time and everything fades to black.
Slow payback, Blanco.
Bradley wakes up on the floor of his cell, still dazed. He rips the sole off his shoe and slips it between his skin and the stun belt. Guess being a mechanic finally comes in handy. He knows how to block the current. They drag him into the hallway again. This time, he pretends the shocks are working. He screams and fakes the pain. As soon as they lower their guard, Bradley strikes. He disarms them and starts beating them down one by one. He demands the keys to the shackles. In the chaos, he accidentally kills one of them.
Killed. I know what I did.
And he locks the surviving guard in a nearby cell. Back in Eleazar's room, one of the cartel goons is shadowboxing. Bradley walks in. They square up one-on-one. Bradley wins in seconds. Then he slams the guy's face into the ground, over and over, like rubber on pavement. 2 more henchmen rush him. While Bradley fights them off, Eleazar quietly makes a phone call. He tells his assistant to start the procedure if he doesn't call back in 10 minutes. Bradley finishes the fight and stomps the men's heads like crushed soda cans. Eleazar tries to threaten him again. Bradley breaks his legs. "Call off the doctor," Bradley says. Eleazar stays silent, so Bradley starts dragging him down the hall. You don't want to talk? Fine.
Right now, I'm dragging him to a bunch of guys who will him bloody.
Eleazar finally cracks. He tells his assistant to release Lauren and take her to Gil's house. Bradley shoves him into a cell with the surviving guard.
Stay put.
Just then, the warden and his guards burst in. Bradley tells them,
1 minute after I'm off, I will turn myself over to you. And I swear that to Jesus Christ.
Cut to Gil's house. Eleazar's assistant and the doctor pull up with Lauren.
And approach the vehicle.
As they reverse, Gil pulls out a hidden rifle and shoots the assistant. Lauren grabs the gun and kills the doctor.
Always said Bradley picked the winner.
Gil calls Bradley. It's done. They're safe. Bradley talks to Lauren one last time. She puts their daughter on the phone. He tells her to grow up smart and strong. Lauren tears up.
We want to come see you. When can we come see you?
I don't know when you'll be able to come visit here, but I'll try to figure that stuff out.
He says goodbye and crushes the phone. Then he turns to the warden.
I still got that 1 minute I told you about.
He walks back into the cell. With Eleazar still helpless, Bradley shoves his head in the toilet and stomps it like a guillotine blade. A minute later, the guards rush in. Hands behind your head. Bradley turns around, and the warden shoots him on the spot. He wasn't just a fighter. He was a father. And that was his final act of love. If this story moved you, there are more just like it waiting for you. Subscribe to Sigma Recap. I'm where every film hits deeper than the last. And as always, stay strong, stay sharp, stay Sigma.